Hello students, standard 8th. We are running with the revision of chapter number 14 in chemistry, that is the chemical effect of electric current. Yesterday in the last session we talked about some questions. Today the remaining questions are there. We will discuss about it and then you will write down as an assignment. The first question is, there are some situations in which even though the liquid is conducting, bulb may not glow. Give possible reasons. We saw that the conductor tester, in which we saw that the two open end of the wires are dipped into the liquid and then current is passed through the wire. Then if the liquid is conducting, the bulb will glow, and if the liquid is not conducting, the bulb does not glow. Here it is possible reason to give that sometimes the liquid is conducting, but still the bulb does not glow. So what can be the possible reasons to happening this thing? First thing we can think about it, that the bulb is fused. We know that there is a filament in the bulb. Filament is made up of the tungsten wire, and then when the current is passing, it becomes hot, and then it starts glowing. So if the filament is broken, then what will happen? The current will not pass through it and the bulb cannot glow. So the first thing is that the bulb is fused. Second possible reason is that maybe the current passing through it is very low, and therefore what will happen? We know that the filament can glow only it gets certain temperature. But if the value of that electric current passing through is very low current is passing, then the filament cannot get enough hot to emit the light, and then in this position also the bulb will not glow. Third possible reason is that somewhere the circuit is broken, the wires are not connected properly, connection is loose, so the circuit will be closed, not closed, it will be open circuit, and therefore the current will not pass through it, and though the liquid is conducting, but the bulb will not glow, as the current will not pass through that circuit. So that are the possible reasons that even though the liquid is conducting, but the bulb will not glow. Second question is that the ordinary water can conduct electricity, while distilled water does not. Explain why. Actually, we already talked about it in the last session. Generally, what happens? The electricity is due to the flow of the free electrons. Now, in the distilled water, there is no salts, and then because of there is no salt, no acids, no bases, they don't have free electrons to conduct the electricity. So the distilled water cannot pass the current through them. But in our ordinary water, we know that ordinary water we get from the well, rivers, etc. So when the water is running, it is dissolving some salts from the soil, and therefore there are less or more salts dissolved in our ordinary water. And as they have salts dissolved, they have some electrons which are free to flow the current, and therefore the ordinary water can conduct electricity, and the distilled water cannot conduct that electricity. Next question is to prepare a tester to test conduction based on magnetic effect of electricity. We saw that when we make a tester, what do? We take a bulb. When we put that two ends of the wire and we join the battery and then the bulb. But now, sometimes what happens as we talk, that the current is very, very low. And therefore, in this situation, the bulb will not glow. So in this situation, what we can do is that we can use the magnetic effect of electricity. We know that when the magnetic compass is brought near the current carrying wire, it shows the deflection. It means it shows that the current is passing. So now we can do the same thing here. What we can do in here we can use that battery, we can use that bulb here, and with that other. So now what we can do is that to bring a magnetic compass here. When we put the key in, the current will pass through it. Now when the current will pass through it, doesn't matter, the current is very low. Then what will happen? As soon as the current is passing through it, the magnetic needle will show the deflection. It shows the deflection only when the current is passing. When will the current pass? The circuit is closed. So, if the liquid is conducting, then the current will pass through, and therefore here the magnetic needle will show the deflection. So by this way, we can prepare a tester to test the conduction which is based on the magnetic effect of electric current. So that is a different thing. Now we come to the chemical effect. We saw that there are mainly three effects of electric current. First is the heating effect of electric current. Second was the magnetic effect of electric current. Now the third is the chemical effect of electric current. What is that? So when the current is passed through some liquids, then the chemical reaction takes place. Means the chemical changes are occurred, and that is known as the chemical effect of electric current. So when the current is passed through the liquid, what happens? The chemical reaction takes place. For example, if you put the current in the water, when you pass the current through the water, what happens? The water splits into its constituent elements like oxygen and hydrogen. Another example is the electroplating, and that are the examples of the chemical effect of electricity. So now, what is the electroplating? That we are going to discuss about it and how does that takes place. So now, electroplating. electroplating. When the current is passed through the electric conducting the solution, then what happens? What can we do with the electroplating? Generally, the electroplating is that we can make a layer of desired metal on another objects, and that we are using the current to do that, and that is known as electroplating. For electroplating, we have to make a arrangement in which we have to take some liquid, desired liquid, and we have to put 2 electrodes, and then we have to complete the circuit. Now what we have to do that? Suppose we are going to electroplate some metal on another metals. So the desired metal of which we are putting is put as the positive electrode, and the other material on which we are going to electroplate, we have to take it with the negative electrode. So now when we pass the current, and then in the solution also we have to take the solution of the desired metal as the liquid. For example, if you want to make the coating of copper, Cu, then here we have to use the copper sulfate solution, and then the copper plate is here, and on the negative side the thing on which we are going to electroplate. And then when we pass the current, what will happen? The metal from here will be going to the liquid, and then from the liquid again the metal is going to make a layer on this negative electrode. Sometimes we use this method to purify the copper metal also, because when the copper metal is extracted from the solution, then they are really generally not 100% pure. Then what we do? We will take the pure metal here and impure metal on the negative electrode. And when we pass the current, then what will happen? From the positive electrode, the copper will go into the liquid. It will be purified. From the here we have to put the impure metal, and impure metal will go into the liquid, get purified, and goes on the negative electrode, and then the pure metal will be obtained on the negative electrode. So that is the process of electroplating. Now what are the uses of this electroplating? Where can we use this process? First thing is that it can prevent rusting or the corrosion. We know that when the iron is getting rusted, then it is getting corroded. So if you make a layer of zinc metal, because zinc metal does not get corroded, but zinc metal is also very expensive. So we cannot make the whole things made up of zinc metal. So what do? We do the electroplating. So we will put iron on the negative and put that zinc metal on the positive electrode, and then by passing the current, the layer of that zinc metal will be on that iron, and so it looks like it is made of zinc metal, and it can be used to prevent the rusting. Second thing is, sometimes we know that when we buy the bicycles, then the rim, the handles, the bales are shiny. Why? Because they are also electroplated by this lustering metals, and the inside metal is cheaper, which is not lustering. So to make it shiny, we electroplate it with the zinc or some other lustering metals. Next use is that sometimes the ornaments are made up of the cheaper metals. But when we do the electroplating of either the silver or the gold, it looks like a golden ornaments, because the layer of that gold is on it by doing the electroplating, so that the shiny ornaments are there. Inside the metal is cheaper, but it looks like it is made up of the gold. So that are the different advantages of electroplating. So in this chapter we learn about the different methods. First we saw that the repetition of that effects like heating effect and the magnetic effect of electric current. How can we use the magnetic effect of electric current to make the conductor tester, and then we saw the chemical effect of electricity and the method of electroplating and its advantages. So here we are going to finish the today's session, which will be followed by the PDF file. You have to write down these answers of these questions as an assignment in your notebook, and if any confusion you have to write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.